Hi everyone, my name is Oren Jacobson. I'm the Director of Strategic Marketing for New Home Star, and here with me today is Keith McKinney, Vice President of Organizational Development, Aaron Wagner, who is the Director of Organizational Learning, Jamie Pugh, who is the Director of Training, and Mary Lindeman, who is one of our longest tenured and most successful sales directors out in the field. And today we're going to try to give you an inside look at what it's like to be part of New Home Star and our sales team. I think one of the biggest challenges most builders face is finding the right talent.
Yeah.
What is it about what New Home Star does that allows us to find the type of talent they want but struggle to find on their own?
It's very telling on how we find the talent and then the process they have to go through to get selected by us, that we look for certain attributes that sometimes a little bit more eagerness, a little resourcefulness that they have to show that allows them to really prosper in our training program. So we give them a structured, guided path to really get the most out of each individual person. And we're not trying to change their personality. We're trying to get the most out of their personality.
It's funny, builders kind of have this idea of what they want, but they just don't know where to go look for it. And so historically, they have gone to the normal channels of real estate, former real estate agents or people who have been in the business the longest. And they're finding that line of success of those people is not treating them well long term. So at New Home Star, we've set up a training program where we said, what if we could take somebody who's outside of the industry?
And from your experience, we take someone who's totally inexperienced versus someone who's come from somewhere in the industry. Are we getting better results with the inexperienced person versus the experienced person? What's that difference look like, Aaron?
Yeah, I would say what we've found is that they actually do a little bit better, and they're working really hard, and they're not limited by their own failures of the past because they don't have those yet. So they're actually a little bit more successful than some of the tenured people we pick up.
They want to learn and set themselves up for a career. We try to find career-minded people, not people who are just looking for a job.
So Mary, you're in the field, you have an opening coming up. What's the process like for you as a sales director working with New Home Star corporate support to identify potential talent and take them through to a hire decision?
I can call our human resources department and they can help me not only place ads, set up career days, and also you'll come out and train them, Jamie. We have a structured training program of 8 weeks where they have a path that is laid out very nicely for them so they feel like they can succeed.
But for us, we put a lot of money and time and resources into this training process, not just on the front end, but long-term training processes. So we're looking for very specific attributes that they have, not necessarily experiences.
At the end of the day, what we're looking for is somebody who's going to match the effort that we're going to pour into them.
Got it. So if I can distill this down, it sounds to me like we recruit from different pools. We look for different qualities, and then we put them through a really expansive and diverse set of interviews to make sure people with different experiences in different parts of the organization touch them before we ever hand them to a builder.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so let's move on then from recruiting and sort of talk a little bit more about development.
Well, when you look at the development of a salesperson, that happens over time. Now, what New Home Star has been able to do is shorten that cycle to almost like 18 months to 24 months, where we have some people going into our training program and ready for management within 18 to 24 months. And it's because we're able to do that with all the access to the resources we have, like New Home Connect, and all these minds within New Home Star that goes out into the field and reaches them right where they are.
Through New Home Connect, through the portal. One thing too that everybody's talking about, the different ways that we're training and we're developing people. We also listen to our sales agents. We actually give them a survey. Our sales video, training videos are a lot of times created from these surveys responses we get back.
Aaron, give me a very brief outline of the actual tools that are inside of New Home Connect. I log on, what do I have access to?
The biggest thing that most builders see right on the front end is there's hours of videos training, just hours and hours, both for sales associates and for management, so we can develop people even faster there.
Okay.
There's social features similar to Facebook where you get to connect with people across the country, and that is probably the biggest secret weapon, because you can log in as a new person and ask somebody on the other side of the country their top 3 secrets, and they share them. So when something breaks down, they already know how to fix it.
Right.
And all those tools exist inside of New Home Connect.
Right, so you've got marketing groups,
Yes.
you've got peer learning centers, you've got Ask an Expert, you've got a 1-800 number. What about non-technical, non-software-based tools and resources for development, right? We've got our 8-week training program. What else is there?
So we have division experts that we identify in each area. We have 20 different categories that they can be an expert in. And so those are actually chosen in each division.
So I'm a division expert, my career is moving along, then what?
One of the really cool things is the career path here at New Home Star. So that's actually really unique. In most builder situations, you go and you become a sales guy, and that's usually where your career development ends. Here, the division expert is the first step. After you've mastered the training program, you become the division expert that Jamie just mentioned. But then after that, you get to mentor others, and then you move into management type situations. So the career path itself actually feeds back and starts to develop new people as the system keeps growing.
Keith, let's talk specifically about 2 things inside of that path that you helped to sort of formulate, right? You've got this Mensa, which we got to explain what Mensa is, and you've got LDP.
Yes. So Mensa is mentoring and educating new sales associates. And what we wanted to create was a program where we had designated people in each division all across the country that we could ensure the quality of our training and the heart of New Home Star was being achieved in every division.
So what I hear in that is we don't just take a new hire, throw them with an experienced person and call that person a mentor.
No.
In fact, that's not part of the labeling at all inside of the organization. The only way you're actually considered a mentor is if you've gone through Jamie's certified cultural process, right? What about LDP?
LDP is a really exciting program that we have. So it's actually a structured, it's an 11-month program. It's split up into 4 different classes. And these classes are online based, but they also have in-field shadowing opportunities. There's also outside readings. So there's lots of things that they do, but those 4 different classes, we talk about just how to work with builders, just how to engage salespeople, leadership practices in general. So all the things that you need to be successful in sales management, this class in 11 months teaches people things that usually takes years for them to learn.
Mary, you've worked in sales and in management for some of the largest home builders in this country. You've spent time in management in multiple markets with us. Talk to me a little bit about the cultural difference between a New Home Star sales team and what you see elsewhere.
Absolutely. The first word that pops into my head when I think about this is heart. The New Home Star sales agent, again, they want to be that business person. They want to be engaged. They want to get the margins for the builder. They are hard drivers. It really is something special that we have going on here. I think, again, it's not just about the transaction. They really have to be able to do everything and do it really well. It's really important to us to have great relationships with not only our builder clients, but our construction team and our customer service teams. I think that is how we create the best customer experience and builder experience as a whole.
A lot of our clients are either local single market or regional multiple market builders, right? Even in the regional builders, they may have 100 salespeople spread out across 4 or 5 markets. When they become part of our family, and I think that we'd all use that word intentionally, when they become part of our family, what does the ability to touch a full national network in that scope while still retaining sort of that localized focus, what does that do that's different for us than for other folks?
On our directors team alone, there's hundreds of years of sales experience. So if I'm experiencing an issue that potentially I've never come across before, I know I can pick up the phone and call another director who maybe is specialized in that area. And it's just a really great network where we can all be better together because we have a synergy as a team. It's not one person. We all want to win together. There's a definite abundance mentality here. It's wonderful. Honestly, I think it helps us identify trends faster. Typically, what starts in one area of the country eventually comes across the country, so we can see what's happening in all the different markets. So it's incredibly helpful to have a different perspective so we can come up with the best approach possible.
So one more question. We've talked about a lot of different things. Is there anything that we haven't discussed so far that you think is critical for one of our builder partners to know about what it's like to be inside of our team, or something that might surprise them about our company, our culture, our process and approach that you think is relevant and impactful.
The biggest thing I can say is that New Home Star was made by salespeople for salespeople. We're here to help builders sell more homes and sell them more profitably.
Yeah, the thing I've found after I've traveled to different markets over this last few years is builders underestimate the amount of things that we take off the plate for them. Builders are really good at building homes, and we are really good at selling them. I have heard builders say to me, "It's awesome now. I get to go worry about land, I get to go worry about building construction, and all these things that took all of my time before are now gone. You guys take care of those things, you train people, you recruit them, and they're better than I could ever do. And now we're able to work side by side, and as they grow their building company faster and faster, we can build the sales team to match their pace, and they're not having to worry about if they can train their salespeople in time to build the house in time too."
Having the feedback of the product segmentation and the land analysis, I know a lot of us directors are all directly involved in that process, but I think it's great. It's not just about the sales, it's about setting us up to have the best success in sales possible. Not only does that mean higher margins, higher volume, but we can have a better prediction of where we're going to end up on projects versus trying to make something work.
And I'm guessing because we're not just focused on finding good salespeople, we're finding business people who can sell, and then we're developing them to sell better and run the business better, that what that also creates is additional support and resources and insight that are consumer focused on the strategy that we should take in a given community or in a given market.
Yeah, absolutely. Their feedback is critical. They're the experts in the market. They're living it, breathing it every single day, and we empower them to grow and to use that knowledge, help us make decisions. So it's nice because then they do own the process, and the accountability for their business, their development is absolutely there.
I think it's really simple to say recruit better people, put them through a better training process, give them better tools and resources, and then provide them with a better long-term path and development to support that path. And oh, by the way, help bring new resources to bear for the builder. It's really easy to say that. It's really hard to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that the folks who are going to get the most from working with us are folks that are sort of, if you will, standing at the edge of a river. And they see the other side, and maybe that river is still very successful, right? They've done really well up until now, but they see the other side, they know they have more, but they can't figure out how to build that bridge. And the truth is, we've already built it, and all they need to do is put that bridge down and walk across with us. So I thank you guys for being part of this conversation.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.